Yes, it is time. It is time to start the lesson. I know it's still a minute to go, but it's time right now to start the lesson. Yes, time to show you guys what it looks like outside, which is like this, very calm, a little less snow than you have, than you might have seen in the thumbnail, but just I'm making sure things are actually moving on the screen. It looks like they are. Yes. Well, hello and welcome to this live English lesson where we're going to spend about an hour. I'll answer as many questions as I can. If you have a question, please submit it using the form in the link that you will see below or in the description, in the description below, or that you will also see pinned in the chat. It's good to see so many familiar faces. Let me click all the right buttons here to make sure everything is working. Hello to Freddie Wolf, Know That, Mode Eggs. Let me scroll back. Hafiez, Mr. Fishieri, Judith, Aerosmith 77. Let's see here. Sophia is here. Noah is here. Just looking at the last few names in the chat, saying hi to everyone. At Nyun is here. Lenusa is here. Scrolling back a little further, I think that's everybody. Pedro is here. Oh, that's who I was looking for. Unsel, of course, is here. And Hujur is here. And I'm sure there are many other people flooding in right now as we start this live English Q&A lesson. If you're wondering what a Q&A lesson is, it's where you use the link in the description below to ask a question. And I will put the question on the screen and I will do my best to answer it. As I was mentioning earlier, this is what it looks like outside. If you're wondering, when will the outdoor lessons on Saturdays start again? Probably in March or April. Right now it's -7 outside, -7 degrees Celsius. Not a great day to go outside. In fact, it's hard to see if the camera's working, but right here I can see those little leaves moving. So obviously things are working well. Anyways, let's get started on this lesson. Let's do the questions outside so you guys can enjoy the view. And let me get the first question on the screen. Know That says, hello, Bob. Just out of curiosity, did you find any shoes you were looking for on Boxing Day? I did, yes. And did you maybe pick up anything for yourself as well? Thanks, Bob. I didn't. What did I buy? What is the most recent thing I bought? The most recent thing I bought was a little timer with 8 buttons on it. And when you push the button, it provides power to whatever's plugged into it for that amount of time. Because right now my feet are on a nice heating pad, a special heating pad for your feet, but it doesn't have auto shut off. And I don't like electric heating products that don't turn off automatically. So I bought a little timer for it. So now I hit 2 hours and now it will only run for 2 hours. But yes, we did find a good sale on shoes. One of my kids was able to get shoes and that worked out really well. Next question from Know That. How was your Friday, Bob? Did you manage to sneak in a little afternoon nap? And how was your workout at the gym? Was it packed? As always, a heartfelt thank you, sir. Interestingly enough, I didn't get a nap. Well, that's not true. I went to the airport super early in the morning and I came home and had a little nap before my live stream yesterday, before we did this live stream yesterday. And then later in the day, I did snooze for about half an hour. I did go to the gym and it wasn't packed, but there were a lot of new people signing up. So I think after we left later, I bet you it got really, really packed. Hey, if you're one of the 128 people watching, don't forget to click the red subscribe button and you will get notified whenever I do a new lesson, which hopefully is interesting for you. From Unsel. Hi, Unsel. Happy 9th anniversary of the channel. Oh, yeah. Today, exactly today, is the 9th anniversary of this YouTube channel, Learn English with Bob the Canadian. 9 years ago, on January 3rd, I took our camera outside. It was actually raining, and I made a little, I think it's only like 2 minutes long. I made a little English lesson out in the cold weather. I was really just doing it to learn how to do it. and it ended up being somewhat popular. And so I made more. From personal to global, how does that journey feel to you? Thanks for all the effort and heart you've put into this over the years. You're welcome. You are very welcome. And thank you for the congratulations. I do feel a sense of accomplishment, but I also feel a sense of eagerness to start 2026. I have some ideas for good videos that I think that I think most of you will enjoy. From Judith. Hi, Bob. Do you still have your Christmas tree up? Did the feeling start to fade? Thanks. Our Christmas tree is still up. I'm imagining that our Christmas tree will be coming down probably today or tomorrow. That is my guess. I'm not usually super involved in that part of the process, but yes, it is still up, and I imagine that it will be coming down today or tomorrow. Let me see here. Let me have a sip of water. Yesterday, my voice kept giving out on me. I don't feel like that's going to be happening as much today. Let's have a look outside. So the weather has been quite wintry. We didn't have a white Christmas. A white Christmas is when it snows on Christmas Day. But since then, it has been very cold. And as you can see, there is a little bit of snow outside. I'm not looking forward to going outside later today. I do have a couple of things to do on the farm. So hopefully, hopefully it isn't too windy. I can handle cold weather as long as it's not too windy. Vitor in the chat says 9 years on YouTube. That's awesome. I'm here since 2020. Well, thanks for being here. Mr. Fischeri says, in that video 9 years ago was how to learn English, how is it going, and how to pronounce it. Go watch that later, folks, and give that video a thumbs up too. Yeah, I've been getting a few comments on that video. Who's here in 2026? So people have been watching it. Okay, let me get another question on the screen. Here we go from Judith. Hi, Bob. Do you know Wicked Games? I don't want to sound like Wana. How is it possible? Thanks. Do I know Wicked Games? I don't know. I have to do a search here. I know I saw the movie Wicked. There is a song by Chris Isaac called Wicked Game. Yeah, I'm not sure, Judith. I'm hard to figure out exactly, but there is a song by Chris Isaac, and it's from a long time ago. I'm trying to think. I think I was in university when that song came out. Okay, next question from Unsel. Hi, that story about taking your friend to the airport really warmed my heart. In your experience, how do good friendships shape a life, and what makes them truly valuable? So I think what makes the one way to tell if a friendship is a really good friendship is if you can just sit and talk for a few hours and you aren't realizing that time is going by. To me, if you have a friend who always wants things from you, always wants money or a ride or something, that's not a great friendship. But if you have a friendship where you're just happy, like let's say you have to drive somewhere and it's a 2-hour drive, and if you go with your friend, the ride goes faster. Like it seems like time is going quickly. That is a great friendship. How do good friendships shape a life? I think just sharing the stories of your life with each other as you go along. Let's see here. Old Mode. Hi, Old Mode. Hi, hey, Mr. Bob. What's the figurative meaning of no one's home? Is it used when someone's not paying attention? Oh, it looks like no one's home up there. Thanks so much. So the entire phrase as I know it is the lights are on, but nobody's home. Or I think there's another phrase, one brick shy of a load, which simply means that someone isn't very intelligent. So when you say, I tried to tell him how to get to the mall and he couldn't figure it out because there's no one home there, you basically are saying the person isn't very smart. Let's get an official definition of that. Meaning of no one's home. The lights are on, but nobody's home is the full idiom. And it means when someone is not paying attention, they are unresponsive, not thinking clearly or not very intelligent. It's a metaphor for someone being out of it. So there you go. When you say someone's out of it, it means they're not paying attention to what you are talking about. Okay, let's see here. From Morrow. Hi, Bob. Happy New Year. Thank you. Happy New Year to all of you as well, by the way. Let me just go to the outdoor shot for a sec to make sure everything is working. Morrow's question is, how can I speak English without thinking in my own language? I reckon it is the big step I would have overcome to improve my fluency. Thanks. A little fix there. So I do believe this will happen naturally with enough practice. And I think especially it happens when you are listening to English. Eventually you will stop interpreting in your head. And when you are speaking English with a speaking partner, those are the two times where hopefully you suddenly realize you have been thinking in English. I've experienced this while watching French on TV, where suddenly I realized time had gone by and I hadn't been translating anymore. And it can also happen in a conversation where you're so interested in the English conversation that you're having that you forget that you're speaking English and you start speaking English. But it does require a lot of practice and a lot of time. And I don't know exactly what makes it click or what makes it start to happen automatically. In the chat, no, that says, is your river actually frozen right now, Bob, or is it not cold enough? It is frozen, but it isn't safe. If you look straight above me, the river actually flooded and then it froze, which makes it, even though it's frozen, it's quite unsafe because the water underneath has receded. And so the ice on the land has air under it. So it can break very, very easily. But yes, the river is frozen, but not cold enough to drive a snowmobile on it. Okay, let me see here from Slava, from Nova Scotia, the province of Nova Scotia. Very cool. Hey, Bob, first of all, Happy New Year. Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. And happy anniversary. Watching you for the last 4 years. Thank you for everything you do for us. You are very welcome. 4 years. That's cool. Thanks for being around for that long. You know, the other day I was coming out of a place and someone came up to me and said, "Are you Bob the Canadian?" And it was an English teacher from the city of St. Catharines, which is close to me. And she said she had been using my videos in her classroom for 5 years. And I was like, sometimes I find it hard to believe I've been doing it for this long. So, but Slava, thank you so much for the kind words. 9 years. Yep. I'm going to keep doing it, at least for a while. From Caesar. Hi, Bob. First of all, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. I have my glass of water here. I'm cheering, saying cheers with a glass of water. What exactly does quite often mean? When I speak French, I quite often make mistakes. That means it happens a lot. When I go somewhere that I've never been before, I quite often make the wrong turn or I get lost. So it just simply means that something happens a lot. Okay. You might, let's say you're not very good at cooking food. And quite often when you cook food, you burn the food. It means that it just kind of happens. In the chat, Mode says, I refuse to believe it's 2026. It does seem really strange to me as well. When I say the year, when I say 2026, it just doesn't, it sounds weird. How did I get here? For me, it's still December 2013. 2013. That's right. The date now reads the same way numbers do in French. There you go. 2013. Vitor says Bob is famous. Nah, I don't know about that. I think depending on where I am, you could make the argument that I'm not in any way. Okay. Let's see here from I Love Bob. Hey, Bob. Happy 9th year anniversary. I am curious about your farm a lot. How many animals you have in it and what kind of crop will you plant this year? So we have, I think we have about 10 goats. So we have a little pasture. You can actually see, if you look straight above me, there's a fence And the other side of that fence, there is a hill, and that is where we put our goats on pasture in the spring, summer, and fall. Right now, they are in the barn because it's warmer there. We also have a lot of what we call farm cats or barn cats. The cats don't live in our house. We do buy cat food for them, but they also catch mice and rats and other rodents. And then we have now, sadly, one dog. For those of you that don't know, Oscar was getting quite old and was getting quite sick. And so Oscar is no longer with us. So we just have Walter now as a dog. And what kind of crop will you plant this year? This year, I will probably plant soybeans again. We grew soybeans last year, and you can grow soybeans 2 years in a row as a crop. That does work. From Galen, after teaching English for so many years, have you extracted any efficient methods and theories for learning English? I think almost everything worth doing in the world requires consistency. If you want to be physically fit, you need to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, or you need to exercise 3 or 4 times a week. If you want to be a successful YouTuber, you have to put videos up every week or 2 videos a week, and you have to do those things consistently. I think the same is true for learning a language. I don't think there's a quick way to do it. But if you prioritize spending 4 or 5 or 6 days a week studying English for an hour, if you make sure you practice your reading, your writing, your listening, and speaking, over time, that will produce really, really good results. So what is my theory? Consistency. In my life, at my age, I have come to realize that consistently doing something over a long period of time will produce the results that you want. If you eat healthy for a year, you will look better and feel better. If you run every other day for a year, you will become a better runner. And if you practice English every day, I always say 5 or 6 days a week, for 30 minutes or an hour, you will get much better at English. From Yegana, hello, Mr. Bob. I actually watch your videos since 3 years ago, but I don't feel good about my English language yet. What should I do? Can you help me? So my videos help you really only with 2 things if you think about it. My videos help you understand what you are hearing. And if you use the subtitles or the transcript, my videos will help you improve your reading. But my videos don't really help you improve your writing unless you intentionally do some writing. And they don't help you improve your speaking. So I just think you need to analyze, you need to look at how you're studying English and make sure you have a good balance. If you simply, I'm not saying you're doing this, but if you simply listen to a lot of English music and watch a lot of English YouTubers, you're missing out on practicing your writing, your speaking, and your writing, you're reading, you're writing, and you're speaking. Maybe you can do a bit of reading. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But that's what I would say. And honestly, I do highly recommend this. Get a speaking partner. There's a link in the description to Preply, one of the places where you can find a speaking partner. Find a speaking partner. That will help a lot if you don't have one. And then also schedule a test like 6 months in the future. I still think that is a great thing to do. Mode says, it took Bob 9 years to buy a drone. Give it another 9 and he might have a spaceship. Learn English from space does have a nice ring to it. We'll see. Yes, we'll see. No, that says, speaking of afternoon naps, Bob, which side of your new sofa do you take your nap on? I usually just lay on the far end. You can see there's a chaise lounge on the far end. I've been trying to figure out exactly how to have naps there. Mr. Fisheri, Hafiez says, what's the typical time duration recommended by YouTube to YouTubers now, Bob? I heard it used to be highly suggested to be around 10-minute videos a few years back, along with that frequency of uploads. That's hard to say. They are really encouraging people to make shorts, like 60 seconds or 30 seconds. I don't really enjoy that. I think it's hard to create a lesson, but also longer content. My longer versions of my Friday lessons have been doing better over the last year. So there we go. Mode says, I'm sorry to hear about Oscar. He was such a great pup. He was my favorite. He knew when to show up and when to give you your space. He definitely did. We certainly made too many word plays using his name. Yes, he was a good dog. So I think it's Chaise, Mr. Fishery. So we say chaise lounge in English, but it's actually chaise, as in the chair version. Okay, let me get back to the questions on the screen. From Ismail. Hi, Ismail. Hello, Bob. May I ask what you've planted in your field this year or what you're planning to plant? Thanks. So this year will be soybeans. And Jen, of course, will be planting every type of flower that you are able to grow outdoors in Ontario, Canada. From Christian, Teacher Bob, can you still drive in the snow? Yes, we will probably go to the mall later today. We need to buy a calendar. We usually buy a gigantic calendar for our kitchen every year. And this year, we didn't buy one. Jen said that they'll probably be on sale today, so we might go and look for one. It just helps with a large family to be able to write everyone's schedule on the screen. So let's see. Mode says, guys, did you know you can now watch the live lesson and chat in full screen mode? I didn't know that. I should try that. What does that look like? Oh, look at that. Very nice. I didn't know that. That's very handy. That it still has the chat on the side for you. Very cool. Very nice of YouTube to constantly be improving things. Can you still drive in the snow? Yes. We have snow tires on our cars. The only thing that is important is that you drive slower. If there's a lot of snow on the road, you need to drive slower than normal. You need to leave lots of room between yourself and the car in front of you. We call it stopping distance. You have to increase your stopping distance when it's snowy outside, and you just need to be more cautious. It's very easy to, it's harder to stop a car in snow than it is to speed up sometimes. So you have to be careful and plan to stop. From Unsol, if you don't mind sharing, how has your holiday been overall? Good. As it's coming to an end, did it turn out the way you had hoped? Thanks. Yes. In fact, it started off going by nice and slowly, but then eventually time really sped up. And now all of a sudden, I have to go to work on Monday, which is fine. I will happily go to work. I do like my job. But yes, I had a lot of time spent with family. I had a lot of enjoyable time just relaxing and not working. It was nice to only do Friday live streams for 2 weeks. And I will get back to making Tuesday lessons in a week and a half. This Tuesday will still be a re-release of Friday's live stream. But yes, it has been everything I hoped it would be. From Clay. Hi, Bob. How are you? Happy New Year. Thank you. Thank you for helping us every day learn English. Since I discovered your channel, I've been learning a lot. That's awesome. I'm very happy. Once again, I always say this. I'm very happy that I can help people. I'm very thankful that YouTube exists and I can take ideas I have, make lessons, make videos, and share them all with you. That's very cool. At Noon says, I just understand 40 to 50% what you say, Teacher Bob. That's actually pretty good. That means if you rewatch the video and if you slow it down and you turn subtitles on from time to time, you will be closer to 80 or 90% probably. Very, very, very cool. Okay, next question. Natalia. What does eager beaver mean? It means someone who really wants to do something and they can't wait and they're excited about it. What are the qualities of a person who is an eager beaver? Are you an eager beaver? It depends on what it is. If Jen and I were going to see a baseball game, I would be an eager beaver. I would be excited to go. I would get up early that morning. I would pack water bottles and some snacks, and I would be ready to go well before I even needed to go. So yes, I am sometimes an eager beaver. Let me scroll back here in the chat. There we go. Okay, here we go. Judith, hi Bob. Is it harder to learn to be a doctor or to be a navigator on an ocean liner? Thank you. I would think a doctor, but I don't know. Both of those jobs require, like, you're basically responsible for the well-being of other people. If you're a doctor, you might be doing surgeries or prescribing medicine. If you're a navigator, or I think we sometimes call them a pilot, your job is to safely guide the ship to where it needs to be. I think both of those jobs are very cool. I like my job better because the safety of my students usually isn't of a concern for me. We're just in a classroom and it's quite safe. Yeah, I don't know which one takes long. I'm going to think doctor, because I think a doctor is 7 years or something like that. Let's see here. A few questions. So I do answer questions from members in the chat, but if you are a non-member putting a question, I might answer them, but generally I try to stick with the questions coming from the forum. Let's see how things are outside, and let me have a sip of water here. Let's see here. Kevin in the chat, or Kevin, says, perhaps my question might seem a bit personal, but if you could choose which country to be born in, which one would you pick? Canada, the United States, or the Netherlands? I would choose Canada again. My second would be the Netherlands. My third would be France. And I'm not sure, the US would be in my top 10, but I'm not sure if it would be number 4. The US is great, but at this point in time, those countries would be more interesting for me. Back then, Bob uploaded slow versions of lessons before the playback speed feature had come along. Nice YouTube features added. Yeah, that's true. I used to do, I think it was 80% slower or something like that. Okay, just a sec. I'm going to sneeze here, so I'm going to mute. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully everything's working. Let me just check. I'm just glad you guys couldn't hear me sneezing. I had that set up correctly. Let's see here. Letitia, Bob, do you like watching movies? And who's your favorite actor? Matt Damon. Mine are Gary Oldman and Harrison Ford. Gary Oldman is very cool as well. Very good actor. So, yes, I don't know why I had a little tickle and I needed to sneeze. Let me get another question. Oh, I never answered Caesar's question. Which one would you say to your students on the first day? Welcome to class. What's the difference between them? Are both correct? So the second one is sort of correct, but you wouldn't say it that way. Welcome to class is exactly what I would say. Welcome to class, students. Have a seat. Let's get started. Welcome to the class. That might be something like you might say that at the beginning of the school year, but to me, I would say the first one. But I could see a professor at a university saying, welcome to the class, everyone. But for myself, I would say welcome to class daily. But on the first day, I might say welcome to the class. Anyways, they're both correct. But I would daily use the first one a lot more. No, that says, everything seems quiet out there, Bob. Did Jen take some time out today, or is she already out in the fields? So all Jen has to do is feed the goats and chickens. And I think she's already done that today. Hafia says, Gary Oldman, wondering if you watch Slow Horses, Bob. I watched every single episode. It was one of my favorite shows every year. Like when it comes out, I watch the entire thing. Okay. Clay, what forecast app do you use? So I do not use an app. I use the Government of Canada website. And the reason I do that is because I feel like it is the most accurate one in that I can find. So it's Government of Canada. You can see the little flag at the top. And then if I scroll down, Hamilton, Ontario, -8 degrees. I find that that website is the most accurate for telling me what the weather is currently like and for the forecast of what things are going to be like. Okay, I am going to turn on members only chat mode. Give me a second here. We're going to do that for about 10 minutes. If you aren't sure what that is, for 10 minutes during every live stream, I allow members to ask questions directly in the chat. I'm also going to buy, let's see here. So today, because it's a special day, I'm going to buy 10 memberships. Here we go. You guys, as I'm saying this, you've probably already seen this happen. So R. Wong, Extreme, Pam, Hug, Davibai, Miss Fatir, Vershin, Amit, Iremol, Ahmad. I think that's everybody. You have all gotten a free gift membership for the next 30 days. If you go to the posts section of my channel, you will see all the members only content for the next 30 days. So that's just my little celebration. Happy 9 years and congratulations to all of you who were able to benefit from that. Okay, from the chat, Know That says, hey Bob, what are you up to today and tomorrow? Anything special on your to-do list before school starts? Or are you just having a low-key weekend with your family? Thank you, Bob. Number one, trying not to eat chocolate or sweets or any of that. Our house, it's almost gone, all of it. At Christmas, often you will get chocolate as a gift. I just need to start eating better and cleaner again. I did pretty good during the break, but it is important to me that I get back on track with my eating. I kept exercising through the break, but I need to resume eating healthy because it's like the first thing to go during Christmas. Everywhere you go, there's yummy food. But other than that, a low-key weekend. Yes, I do have to go into work later today. I just need to check over some things and make sure my laptop is charged, etc., etc. Let's see here. Hello, new members from @noon. Thank you. Mode says, from my experience, you use an article with class when you refer to the classroom. But if you mean the period or the subject, that it'd most likely be without an article. It could be regional too. Don't know. I think you're right. Like, welcome to math class. Welcome to science class. Welcome to French class. We will put an adjective in front, but I might say something like, welcome to this year's business class. Like, that might be what I say on the first day, but I don't know if I would use the. No, that says, that's very kind of you, Bob. Generous as always. I try to be friendly. That's and kind. Yep. Do you work out every day, Bob? No. I am in my 50s. I'm in my mid 50s. All of my reading has said that working out 3 or 4 days a week and making sure I have at least a 2-day rest period once per week is beneficial for someone my age. So I work out every other day, and then I have a 2-day break, and then I start the cycle again. So usually Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, but that shifts around a little bit. In between that, I do sometimes walk when it's not an exercise day, but no, I don't work out every day. And I do work out for quite a long time. It's usually an hour and a half. I do an hour of cycling and walking. I just really like walking. And then I do some very light weights as I'm starting to work on my workout. No, that says, is that your remote control lying on the armrest on your couch, or the light switch? That is a remote control. And I'm just realizing this is my work laptop. So I don't have to go to work to charge my work laptop. I brought it home with me. So I should charge that before Monday so that I'm all ready to go in the new year. Letitia says, gotta go. Have a great weekend, everyone. You too, Letitia. Thanks for stopping in and learning a little bit. Let me just check the members only chat. I don't want to miss anything. I think we're good. Okay. Freddie Wolf, joyeux anniversaire pour les 9 années de ta formidable chaîne. Congratulations. Thanks, Freddie, for that. You know, we were saying earlier, it doesn't feel like 2026, but it also doesn't feel like 9 years of YouTube. But yeah, 9 years. Next year will be 10. I don't know what I'm doing. I should probably do something special on my 10-year anniversary. Maybe YouTube will come and give me a gift or something. We'll see. Mode says, woo, thanks for your generosity, Bob the Canadian, not just for the gifted memberships, but also for your time and steadfast effort on the channel for 9 whole years. That's awesome. You know, we had the question earlier about, you know, the secret to learning English. And I said consistency. If anyone ever asks me what's the secret to YouTube, there are a number of things that are important, but consistency, it's got to be like number 1 or 2. Like, I think my personality is very well matched to something like YouTube. I don't like skipping a week. I usually put out 40 or 45 videos a year. And I usually do 40 or 45 live streams a year. I just like I don't like missing a week. Like, it's actually even hard for me the past 2 weeks that I didn't put out content on Tuesdays. So I got my little fix when I did my Friday live streams. Mr. Fish Sherry says, first emoticon is a dynamite. Yes. It's probably a firework. That's my guess. Freddie Wolf. Wow, 9 years ago, I was barely bored. So just a second here. I could. Sorry, that made me laugh. And then I had to cough there. I've met Freddie Wolf via Zoom a couple years ago. And I won't say how old Freddie is. But he's let's just say when he says, wow, 9 years ago, I was barely born, that made me chuckle a little bit. It made me laugh. No, that says, sorry that my questions are very couch related today, but where did your bow go? Oh, it's over there. It's in the other corner. I just noticed that it's no longer standing in the corner. No, it's actually over there. And it didn't fit there anymore. So for those of you that don't know, I was starting to take up archery before I injured myself. And I have actually been shopping online. I want to buy new limbs for my bow. My current limbs are 28 pounds. So it's 28 pounds of weight to pull it to full draw. And I think I can go as low as 12. So that would mean with my current workout schedule, by end of February, if I buy lighter limbs, I might be able to start archery again. Although I have to be careful. Let's see here. Mr. Fisheri says, haha, Freddie, you made Bob joke. Yes, I definitely laughed. That was a good one. Freddie Wolf says, I thought it was a firecracker. Yep. Let's see. No, that says, by the way, I have another phrase related question that I recently came across, Bob. Could you explain the meaning of the expression to find one's feet and give some examples of its usage? When you start a new job, it might take you a while to find your feet. When you start doing something new, it might take you a while to find your feet. It means to be comfortable doing it. Meaning of find your feet. I'm just looking it up. It says to stand up and become able to walk. No, I think it's more... Oh, the second meaning, to establish yourself at a job or in a particular field. I think he started to find his feet at his new job. I think she started to find her feet with this new album. So yes, it means to become good at something or comfortable or relaxed when you do it. From Mode. Speaking of the US, I heard the penny is going away. Someone commented, I guess no more penny for your thoughts. My thoughts are now worth 5 cents due to inflation. It just made me laugh. Yeah, we don't have a penny in Canada. It just is not useful. You can still use pennies if you have them, but they're not common anymore. So when you buy something in Canada, it always gets rounded to the nearest 5 cent. Mr. Fisheri, yes, my mistake. Sorry, it is a firecracker. Is it though? Is it a firecracker or dynamite? We'll have to see. I'm pretty sure it's a firecracker, though. Explosions are frowned upon on YouTube. I'm going to put a question up here, and I'll leave members only chat open for a bit yet. Fox says, my 2 words to say today, clothes and cloth. Thank you. So there are 2 words that look very similar. Okay, he's wearing clothes The clothes are made out of cloth. So there you go. Let me see if I can find... Oh, I don't have audio hooked up. Oh, that's too bad. Cloth uses the short AW sound, like think, cloth. Clothes. So clothes, you don't say the TH at all, the first word there. You just say clothes, like the same way you close a door, and I'm wearing clothes. From Freddie under Snow. Bob, would you mind doing someday a lesson about animals with the names of the male, female, and their kids? Thanks for all, Bob. Yeah, I could do that. I don't think I've done that, have I? Like bull, cow, heifer, calf, was it boar and sow, I think? And piglet for pigs, and rooster and hen and chick. Yeah, that'd be fun. Maybe I'll do that next Friday if I remember, Freddie. I don't know if you're the same Freddie, but we'll see. And let me get another question from here. From Sergey. Sorry, it took me a while to preview that one. What would you recommend to practice writing? It is too difficult to write a story or a diary when you're too weak on that. Maybe there is some materials for kids. So here's the thing, like there's a lot of different forms of writing. So when you say to write a story or a diary or a journal, I still think that's a good idea. If it's hard for you, you don't have to write in complete sentences. So your journal can be things like the list 5 things you saw and the words you learned that day. So to make it really simple, if you saw a dog, a horse, a cat, and a snake, you could write those words in your journal. And then you can start to use model sentences like today I saw a, and then you just write 5 things you saw that day. And then in your journal, you could write today I heard, and then you could write 5 things you heard that day. And then build from there. Yeah, I understand what you're saying though. Sometimes it's hard to write about what you did that day. So try to simplify it. Goat has kids. Yes. Mode says to Freddie Wolf, why do you have some cubs on the way? Here we go from Unsol. I'm going to turn members only chat off in just a sec. Unsel says, hi, do you have a favorite board game? And what kind of player are you? Relaxed, competitive, or more of a rule follower? Thanks a lot. You're awesome. I am a rule follower when I play board games, and I like board games that involve words. So I like to play Scrabble. I like to play a game called Quiddler, which is a card game, but the cards have letters on them and you have to form words out of the cards. That's what I enjoy, those types of games. Okay, members only chat is getting turned off. Everybody can now chat again. Thank you for being members. And some of you have been members for a long time. In the chat, Mode says, wait, is it pups or cubs? I think a wolf would have cubs. Wolf cubs or pups? Let's see. Baby wolves are generally called pups. I've heard wolf cubs before though. I'll have to figure it out when I create the lesson. I'll have to figure out which one is the correct one. Okay, members only chat is off. I can now return to the form. I have 20 minutes left and 15 questions. So let's see how this goes. I'm not going to go fast, but Jessica, I would love to travel to Canada. I am from Colombia. So you're Colombian, but you're from Colombia. If you don't mind, do you know if it is easy if I can work there? Could you share some information about it? What I always recommend is that you search for work permits in Canada and then go to the Government of Canada website, and there will be lots of information about work permits based on what you know, like what your knowledge base is, and also what country you are coming from. So just do a search for that. In the chat, Mr. Fishery says, pups for young canines like wolves, dogs, and foxes. Well, cubs Usually refers to young bears, lions, or tigers. Yeah, that's what I read too. That is most likely correct. I'm not an expert on that kind of thing. Bob, I cloned my voice. This is from Vitor. Bob, I cloned my voice with AI, and now I'm doing some shadowing practice using my own voice. It is working. That is cool. I do think AI is getting better and better at helping people learn languages. And I hope in 2026 to do a video on how to best use AI to improve your English. I know many of you are doing that already, but it is a pretty cool tool. Liam, good morning, Bob. How can I review vocabulary, idioms, and slang that I've already studied so I can use them in real life conversations? So there's passive learning where you listen and read, and then there's active learning where you intentionally do things with the things you want to remember. So passive learning would be reading something. Active learning would be reading it and highlighting the new vocabulary, idioms, and slang, and then writing those into a journal with a definition, and then intentionally using them all in a sentence the next day, and then intentionally using those words in a conversation with an English speaking partner the day after. So if you really want to remember new things, you have to be intentional about using them. Like you have to decide, I'm going to use this word in an email. I'm going to use this word in a conversation with an English speaking partner. That's my recommendation. From Junji, Happy New Year, Bob. Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? No, I started mine in October. My resolution was to eat better and to get my body back in shape. I broke my collarbone and I tore my hamstring. I've told this story too many times. People are probably sick of hearing it. And I am now at the stage of exercising to feel better. I love Bob. Compare the time and money you have spent on this channel. Would you say being a YouTuber's experience is worthwhile? Yes. So here's how I usually describe it to people. I teach high school. I am a high school teacher. I work 70% of my day at high school. I do not work full time. I spend the other 30% working on YouTube. And I would say how much I'm paid to be a teacher is equivalent to how much, like it's not the same, but the ratio is the same. If I quit YouTube and went back to teaching full time, my yearly salary would be the same as it is now. So it's nice to be able to have a break from teaching students and work on something creative. So yes, I would say that it has been a good decision. It has definitely been worthwhile. Plus, I feel like I learn more. Like when I'm doing YouTube, I'm learning new things, and it actually helps me in some of my teaching. Mode says, wow, that could be really useful because I often can't tell if it's just my voice and if I'm saying things wrong or with an accent. Great strategy. Yes, it is interesting to listen to your own voice, isn't it? It is a bit strange though. It is really identical. Yes. It's AI voice cloning is pretty good. Video is not amazing yet, but it's pretty good as well. From Dahlia. What are the career opportunities for someone with a background in applied chemistry who holds a master's degree in medicinal chemistry or drug discovery in Canada? Pretty good. In almost any country in the world, if you have a degree in any of the sciences, you will most likely find a job pretty easily. I know even teaching high school, which isn't what you're interested in, but we always have a hard time finding science teachers because they get really good jobs working in the field of science. So yeah, I would say pretty good. From AUUB, how can I fix my grammar faults, probably FAULT, and speak with more confidence? Little fix there. Get an English speaking partner. I can't stress this enough. If you have someone who you meet with once a week, they will help you with your pronunciation, your grammar, your sentence structure, and everything that you need to work on. They will learn about you and what you need to learn, and then help you with that. In the chat, at Noon says, Teacher Bob, what major do you teach at high school? So my major was French. My minor was computer science. So that's when I was in university. So my teachables are actually French, history, computer science. Sorry, I misspoke there. My major was French. My minor was American history. But my part-time job at the audiovisual department at university involved learning a lot about computers and programming. So my on-paper teachables are French and history, but in reality, I teach French history or French computer science and business. So I actually worked in the computer science field as well, in web page development for a number of years part-time. So that helped. Let's see here. Oh, nice conversation between Mode and Vitor. Last couch question from Know That. Bob, do you still use the door behind you now that part of the couch is in front of it? No, that door can no longer be used. Only the door on this side can be used, which is fine. Mr. Fischeri, some AI videos fooled me, like cat videos and stuff, only until they pull out knives and I figured that they were AI cats. Yeah, it's getting a little hard to tell, for sure. From Arthur, good morning, Bob. What do you think about studying English through yoga, Tai Chi, and Qigong? Much love. I don't know. What I do know is this. If you like doing yoga and you watch a yoga instructor on YouTube who speaks English, you will then learn the English vocabulary that you need from that video. Similar to if you watch an English-speaking person show you how to make bread, you'll learn that vocabulary as well. From I Love Bob, what kind of video you like to play? Video games. And what games are you playing these days? A little fix there. Are you excited for GTA 6 and COD 22 for 2026? I play Age of Mythology Retold, which is a remake of a game from a number of years ago. I've been playing that actually quite a bit the last few days, although I'm currently fighting against 2 computer players who are using Titans, and I can't beat the Titans, so I have to figure it out. Mode says, wait, Bob got a new couch? I didn't notice. So much has happened over the last couple weeks. It looks like the old one though, right? Yes. So the old one, you could have 2 people sit on it. It was a love seat. This couch, let me see. How do I make it not focus on me? Will it focus on the couch if I do this? Probably not. No, it just doesn't. It just likes to focus on people. This one's a little bit longer, and then this part also pulls out. If anyone wanted to sleep over, they could sleep on the couch, use it as a bed. Okay, a little quicker here. I got to get through these. From Tan Walker, you said you love walking. I'm curious, when you walk, do you walk quickly, almost running, so you sweat, or slowly so you can see all the details around you? I go for a brisk walk, a power walk, and almost like clockwork, about 10 minutes into my walk, I start sweating. So I walk for exercise. So it's important that I watch my heart rate. And I also try to walk in a way that I am exercising. Like my heart rate needs to get up to 120. Sometimes I need to run a little bit here and there to get it above 130 now, because my resting heart rate has been dropping because I've been working out. But yes, I don't walk slowly to see all the details around me unless I'm hiking or doing something fun. Xerox says, I understand English, but I can't hold a short conversation. This simply requires practice. And what you can do is start by having conversations with yourself. Like, hello, Bob. Hi, Bob. How are you today? Pretty good. How are you? I'm not too bad. What are you doing later today? I'll probably go to the mall. Go to the mall? What do you possibly need from the mall? Can't you just order it online? I could, but it's more enjoyable to go to the mall because I got gift certificates for a restaurant in the food court and I can buy a hot dog. Well, anyways, I think you see what I'm saying. Practice with yourself. Make little conversations. Maybe have Chat GPT have a conversation with you and work from there. Mode, Bob is feeling shy on camera now. Seriously? After 9 years? Thanks for showing the couch. Yes, suddenly I don't want to see. Okay, in the chat, to watch the member video from the airport. If you want to know oh yeah, that was part of the airport trip. Here we go. Tina, hello. How to pronounce this sentence? This is the boys' ball. I am curious because I do not know how to pronounce possessive apostrophes. Yeah, so boys, like there were three boys playing, or it was the boys' ball. They sound the same. Okay, so there's no change needed for that pronunciation. Patricia, hi Bob. Can you explain what functional movement means, what the functional movement screen is, and what functional movement systems refers to? I don't know about the last two, but in exercise, functional movement refers to doing things for exercise that you would do in real life. So lifting weights like this, because it's similar to putting food in the cupboard. Doing a squat is similar to bending down to clean things up off the floor. I don't know what the other two are, and I might be giving you the wrong answer, but that's what my understanding of functional movement is. Unsel, hi, you seem to juggle so many things: teaching, family, the farm, YouTube. I'm curious, how do you still find time to read or watch a series? Thanks, bye. At the end of my day, I usually have an hour where I can read a book or watch a TV show. And that's pretty regular. So yes, I get up early. I have a pretty tight schedule. You have to realize I work part-time. I mean, I do YouTube as well. And so there is some flexibility in my day. And also my kids are getting older. And so I'm not taking care of as many kids as I used to at home. Mubera says, hello, your videos are very useful and have good quality. Thanks a lot. You are welcome. You are very welcome. Afia says, Bob is talking to himself again. There is no couch potato laying on the couch right now. Yes. No, there is not, Freddie. Okay. Let me skip this one. Hasham, happy 9th anniversary of your channel. Bob, sir, what are your plans to celebrate this special day? No real plans. Although I did buy some expensive equipment to upgrade how my internet works again, because I did have a long cable from the barn and then from the front of the barn to the house. And I'll talk about this in a members only video. I replaced it with a very expensive line of sight system that goes all the way from the house to the silo now. So how did I celebrate? I bought some technology. That's how from Maro, are there any adult language exchange schools where you live, and do you know of any websites about them? Thanks. I don't know, but I do know that in Hamilton and St. Catharines, there are English classes for free for new immigrants to Canada. If you are in Canada, I would look for that. Know that. Speaking of books, Bob, what book are you currently reading? If there is one. I'm not, actually. I want to read a book. I can't remember the name of it. I'm not sure. I'm currently not reading a book. So I should, though. Freddie the Frenchie. Bob, did you ever have horses on the farm when you were a child? Did you ever ride a horse? No, but my grandfather had horses. He came from the Netherlands. And when he came to Canada, his dream once he had a farm is he wanted to have a horse. So he really loved horses. My parents did not keep horses, and Jen and I do not have any horses at all. Pedro says, YouTube says I've been a member of this channel for 47 months. Thanks, Pedro. I hope I can continue for at least another 99 months. And you, Teacher Bob, 99 months. I don't know if I'm going to do YouTube for another 99 months. We'll see. I know that I'm for sure going to do it for a few more years, but we'll wait and see how it goes. Galen, this is a loaded question. A loaded question is when someone doesn't want to answer it because it might annoy people. What do you think is the ranking of the top 5 countries in scientific and technological innovation, military field, and cultural export? Well, there's going to be a different top 5 for each of those, and I'm going to refuse to answer the question in for the reason of keeping the peace. So I wish all countries the best when it comes to technological innovation. And I do appreciate cultural exports as well. Let me see here. Know that still busy reading Dune, Bob. I'm enjoying it very much so far. Paul Atreides, yes. His mom is Jessica. That's a good book. In my part of Canada, John, it is -8 and very cold. From Cyrus, hi Bob, I hope you are fine. Please, I can improve my speaking from the Ivory Coast. Again, this will cost money, but get an English speaking partner that you can meet with online. If you can watch my YouTube videos, you can also find a speaking partner. There's a link to Preply in the description below. And in my opinion, that is a great place to find someone who can help you with your English. From a Vietnamese student. Could you tell me some effective ways to practice speaking and listening? And why do native speakers tend to drop sounds and link words together? The second question, this happens in almost any language. As you speak more rapidly, words generally blend together a little bit. We have contractions and reductions, and we link certain words together. So that is just a natural result of that. An effective way to practice speaking, you can speak out loud. You can read out loud. You can do what's called shadowing, where you play an English video or audio clip and then you say what you've just heard. Or, as I've mentioned before, get an English speaking partner. Listening is a lot easier. Just listen to a lot of English music, watch a lot of English YouTubers, watch a lot of English television shows. From I Love Bob. Hi, Mr. Bob. Can you please make a video of your farm? Also, a video to introduce your family will be great. Your vlog will be a fire. So Jen actually has a YouTube channel where she talks a lot about the farm, and you might want to check that out. It is called My Flower Farm. Let me find the link to it. And you won't see my family necessarily, because our kids aren't that keen. Jen's channel on being on YouTube. We don't force them to be on YouTube. It's their decision. But if you go there, you will see a little bit of the farm. Okay. Let's see. Hamid. Hello, Bob. How are you? I'm good. What do you know about Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025? Nothing. So how am I? I'm great. Second part, I don't know everything about the world or what's happening. Last question, and then we're going to wrap this up. From Victor. I like learning English, but sometimes I don't really know why I'm learning it. Maybe that's why I haven't improved much. Can you give me some advice? So 2 things. Number 1, find something you like doing in your own language, and then do that in English. If you like reading science fiction, try reading science fiction in English. If you like listening to music, try listening to English music. The same reason that you are getting joy and like doing something in your own language might transfer over. But also maybe find a purpose. Plan to travel somewhere. Plan to take an English test. Plan to start speaking with an English speaking partner. All of those things, I think, will help you have more motivation to learn English. Hey, I'm going to go. That's it. Thanks for hanging out. Know that says thank you for the wonderful hour, Bob. Spending some time with you on a Saturday is always such a pleasure. Wishing you and your family a marvelous weekend. And I wish the same for you. Know that. And for everyone who is watching. Fixie says, thank you, Bob. Hope everyone has a happy new year. The final sound of orange is the same as the first sound of juice, right? Sort of. Orange is more of a G sound. Juice is like a JG sound. Hi, on January 9th, I'm flying to Canada, Ottawa, from Prague to visit my grandson, son, and daughter-in-law. I'm really looking forward to it, but I don't know how I'll cope with the freezing cold. It will be cold. In Ottawa on January 9th, it will be very cold. So I hope your trip goes well. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. Don't want to overuse my voice. Thanks for watching. By the way, if you didn't watch this video, a shorter version will come out on Tuesday this week. I forgot to mention that yesterday. And thank you to all of you for the kind words and well wishes. 9 years. Woohoo. Let's see how much longer I can keep this going. What do I got in me? Another year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? I don't know. It's still fun, so I'm going to keep doing it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye, everyone. Have a really, really good day and a good weekend.